Warhammers, Warhammies. Looks like we have a little discussion to have here. As everyone knows, there's been a little bit of a change due to 4th edition coming out, but it seems like there's a lot of confusion as to what's going on here. So I figured we could go over it real quick. I'm going to basically leave my opinion for on the matter, the situation of the matter for the next episode, but I'll do a little bit of what I think is going to happen. Yeah, let's go through this here. Essentially, there are a lot of models being removed for 4th edition. Here we see 2 factions, Beasts of Chaos and Bone Splitters, as well as a number of older Stormcast Eternals from the Sacrosanct and Warrior Chambers will be receiving free-to-download digital battle tomes. These will feature new background and rules and will be considered legal for use in competitive play until summer 2025. At this point, they will be moved to Warhammer Legends and no longer be supported for competitive play. We encourage you to continue using your collection for casual play, and we will continue to support this content with rules and balance updates as needed throughout the edition. So, for Stormcast Eternals, we will begin with Sigmar's finest, the Stormcast Eternals, who have one of the largest miniature ranges in Warhammer history. With so many war scrolls, often for troops who have similar fighting styles, certain units are retaining to the distant halls of Azir. These include the entire Sacrosanct Chamber, who have decided to work on the cure for the curse of reforging from their workshops in the realm of heavens. They are being joined by numerous heroes, as well as some of the most venerable fighters amongst the storm hosts. The older liberators, plus judicators, paladins, prosecutors, certain named characters have been fighting the war against chaos since the dawn of Age of Sigmar, and have also drawn back from the front lines. So essentially how I'm interpreting this is essentially Sacrosanct doesn't necessarily have its own identity. Whenever they came out, they were just better than the Warrior Chamber. Like, Evocators were better than Paladins, Sequitors were better than Liberators, arguably. So, I honestly feel through this, Aventus and the generic Master Sacrosanct, Atria, Castigators, Vorus, the Ballista, Evocators on Dracolines, regular Evocators, and Sequitors, I think they're all going away, and I don't think we're going to get a replacement for them. I also would be surprised if we get another version of Gavriel. Oh, and the Lord Ordinator. They're all going to go away. Now, Lord Exorcist and Lord Veritant, they're kind of in an interesting place because they've never really seen play. They've never really seen a purpose. I mean, the Lord Veritant was close. He was just always a little too point heavy, and Lord Exorcist was just, oh, you're fighting Nighthaunt. Well, I'll write a counter list. So I would like to see these two because I think these are some of the best sculpts from the old range. But with that being said, Knight Heralder, we're getting a new one. Knight Vexler, getting a new one. Castellan, new one. Celestant, new one. Knight Azeros and prosecutors. We saw the new prosecutors in the trailer, so we're going to get new versions of these, which means we're probably going to get a new Azeros. Obviously getting new Liberators. More than likely getting new Judicators. And Paladins, I'll be interested to see what they do. We might not get Paladins per se. We might just get more Annihilators with different weapon options, because that's kind of the same thing. So we'll see about that one. So these guys are 50-50. Because it seems like, why would you have... Because you already have Liberators with your shield and sword, or hammer. There's no more swords. Shield and hammer, dual-wield hammers, and then you also are going to have your... the ones with the spears, which is already kind of a weird thing. I'm surprised they're not rolling them into one and just giving them weapon options. But I'm interested to see about the Errant Quester. that could go either way. I think if they didn't put out a new model, I think it would take a while for people to realize it. Yeah, all right, moving along here. So then we have the Skaven line. This whole thing is going to get redone. Whenever I was saying Echelon was going to get, or Eshin was going to get redone, that's clearly not right, and we're just going this route here for. Honestly, I'm not even really sure what all these guys are. I guess Molder. I'm a little surprised to see. Oh, by the way, I'm also surprised that the Celestin Prime isn't on here. I was really hoping for a Thunderstrike Celestin Prime if we're getting new models, but oh well. And then I'm surprised the regular Plague Monks aren't on here. We have Clan Rats that are newer, and I think the Storm Vermin are newer. I don't remember. But so we're going to get new ones of these. I can see them maybe not doing Rat Swarms. I mean, we still have Nurglings, but it seems like a lot of the things where we got little swarms have kind of been phased out. But everything else, I can almost guarantee we're just getting a redo of these. So, again, I know it's not the best, but if you have any of these models that you love these models, you're going to be able to have a one-for-one move over rate for those. So I wouldn't worry about those too much. Now, Bone Splitters, unfortunately, Bone Splitters are just gone. There was a comment from Games Workshop on Facebook to someone's ask, like, hey, which we'll get to in a minute, Beasts of Chaos are going to the old world, what about Bone Splitters? And they basically said, no, Bone Splitters are gone. So, again, like I said, if you wanted to play, I don't know, maybe Cruel Boys and don't like the aesthetic, because I know some people don't like the big body, little legs, I'm sure you could use some of these, maybe little green stuff. This is very bizarre here. The Slaves of Darkness, like some of these are pretty new, some of them are pretty old. Like Horns of Ashut is new. Flames, they're not super new, but they're relatively new. What does this mean? So we'll get into a little bit of conjecture here, just because I was, and Underworlds as well. But what does this kind of mean? I'll do a little conjecture from Honest Wargamer Rob's recent video about kind of behind the scenes about like how the rivalry between Games Workshop and Forge World is. It seems almost like they're getting rid of these to see how much, like, how well does Warcry do without AOS support. So, if you like Warcry and you don't want to see it going anywhere, just to make sure, I might buy one more box or two of what you want and play as much as you can. Try and get some organized play to show them that it is something that you want. Now, the Beasts of Chaos, it's weird that they've only included the Beast of Chaos Vanguard box for these, considering I'm pretty sure the other ones have them, but so these are definitely going away, the Herdstone and the Endless Spell. So if you would like the terrain of the Herdstone, pick it up now. And then everything else is going to be moving over to Old World. Honestly, I didn't even know we still could get Dragon Ogre Shoggoths. I didn't even aware of that. So, it sucks that you aren't going to be able to play what you want in Age of Sigmar. It sucks that you're not going to be able to, it sucks that we're not going to see new models of these in the near future. But at the same time, as a consolation, you will at least be able to use them in the old world. And then lastly, we're getting rid of basically the last of the resin models. I'm surprised the Branch Wraith was still around. I thought she was already discontinued because she doesn't have rules in the current Battle Tome. Same thing with the Eternity Warden. And for Valkia, I don't remember if rules were for her in there or not, but hopefully we'll still see another sculpt for her soon. So, like I said, as far as that goes, I've seen a lot of people, getting really upset that Warrior Brotherhood is being, that they're being squatted, and it's not that they're being squatted, it's they're being replaced. And a lot of people are saying, well, why should I keep buying models from Games Workshop if in every 6 years they're going to get rid of an entire range? So as far as that goes, I'm not going to be one to advocate to buy more from Games Workshop, but I am going to say I think what they were doing with this is not the new trend. This to me is coming off as we started in one place. Shortly after Stormcast came out, and I think I've even said this on the show previously, shortly after Stormcast came out, we had like that sudden exponential ramp up of skill and quality ramp up in the models, and I think they immediately looked at Stormcast and were like, ooh, kind of want them to look like the new generation. And so much like Space Marines to Primaris, they were like, let's just get this nipped in the bud now, as opposed to constantly adding more models to an already bloated line and just creating a divide in the aesthetic. So I don't think it's going to be, oh, okay, now we're going to squat the KO and replace them with new models. Oh, we're going to replace the, because if you look outside of here, I mean, barring the Warcry and Underworlds, what's the newest sculpt we have in here? So, I mean, we have these, but this is because they're getting rid of the army, right? So, looking in here, all super old. I think was this guy, I think this guy might be new. I think there was the one hero on foot. But these are all, I mean, that's new, but they're getting rid of the army. All of these are old. There's not much that can be, like I said, it's just Stormcast only, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. Just let's see where 4th edition goes. Hopefully we'll see these models soon, and we can have a little bit of a sigh of relief. So go ahead and leave any comments that you have if you want to retort anything, and we'll take it from there. So other than that, everyone, stay strong.